Did you post the link in general channel?
Link. I'm putting e-board, somebody else do it.
Put in general channel. No, don't edit it. Just make it look close. Hold on. Which one was the YouTube one?
Bruh.
Yeah.
Right.
Instagram. Oh,
All right.
So now you're gonna make my shit and keep the contract. No.
These are our speakers for tonight. All right, guys. I'm Doug. Welcome to Baltimore Black Techies. We are doing something different tonight. So normally on speaker nights we have a single speaker, but today we're going to have 4 of them. And what we're going to do is a little panel exercise here. So we're going to ask them questions about their career, their background, and then we'll let them give you answers. And then we'll leave some time for you guys to ask questions at the end. So I'm going to get out the way. But before I do, just want to say a quick announcement, and then we'll have more announcements later tonight. This is important. I'm going to keep saying it. We need speakers. If you want to come speak, and you want to practice speaking in front of the group, please let somebody know on the keyboard, or just like there's a, what's the other channel? Speaker AMA channel, or general, or just message me, or message Bosh, or like message someone, and it'll get to the people. So if you want to speak on any topic, tech related, or just something about your experience, your background, please let us know, and then you can be up here doing this, and then I will have to do this. But yeah, so without further ado, let's introduce our panel. Drum roll, please. Hey, y'all can just go through. So first up, Bosh, please just say your name, some backgrounds, what you do, what you work on.
Okay. Hi guys. My name is Basharat. I am from Nigeria. What do? I am an HR technology consultant. What I do is help companies implement their HR software. So you may have heard of maybe Pro or Kernels or ADP. Those are systems that I'm working. That's in my expertise, and that's what I do.
Alex, software engineer for Fearless. Haven't had much sleep lately because our project I'm working on is due to May 1st deadline. So yeah.
I'm Aaron. I'm Aaron. I'm the technical lead and DevOps engineer at Fearless. So I do a lot of stuff with cloud computing. I also run now a company called Mastermind where I do technical trainings on the internet on both Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe to my man's channel.
Yes.
YouTube.
Mastermind. Yep.
I never heard one, right? Hi, I'm Kwame. I'm a data scientist, freelancing consultant at Heart to Heart for another 2 weeks. And basically, I do a lot of stuff dealing with machine learning, AI, and predictive analytics.
All right, perfect. This is our group. I'm going to just be over here so we're but I'm going to ask you guys your first question. So you guys have said who you are, what you're currently working on. So the first thing I want to ask you about is a little bit about your background. So like, basically, did you go to school for this? How did you end up doing what you're doing now? Tell us a little bit about that.
Basharat again, HR technology consultant. How did I get into the industry? I started off as a regular admin, an HR admin, a payroll admin. Then I did benefits administration. My first job was at Pepsi. At the time, it was like, oh my goodness, they're bombarding me with all this work, but that's what got me to where I am today. So doing administrative work, there's another side of things, which is technology. So again, the day-to-day stuff for HR, a lot of custom reports that need to be built. There's a lot of integrations with other third-party systems like the benefit vendors and things like that. So what I do is kind of help the company put it all together. A lot of process flow and automation is involved in that process. Did I go to school for this? No, I did not. I was very hands-on and a natural problem solver. And so working as an HR admin, we do a lot of paper stuff, filling out direct deposit forms, new hire forms, and I always wanted to find a way to make things easier for myself because I had so much work. If you have a payroll admin in your company, they probably have to come in on Saturdays to look at timesheets and reconcile them to process everything in time for payroll on Monday. So no, I didn't go to school for that. I went to school for health sciences. So I was going to be a doctor. Did a double minor in French and mathematics. But what I do now, I just got a hands-on experience on the job, and I took a more proactive initiative as far as like learning the system that I was using for my day-to-day administrative work. So as a payroll admin, I was using Chronos to process timesheets and process payroll, but there would be issues and glitches within the system, and I had to contact like an engineer or like a solutions architect to help me solve the problem. At times, they don't have the time to respond, and so that's what got me into trying to figure out how to solve that problem myself without having to wait for a solutions architect to kind of like higher up and have all these different cases that need to be resolved. So the first software that I learned very heavily was Chronos. It's used based on Java, JavaScript, C Sharp, C++, and on the back end, as far as the reports using and things like that, there's a lot of SQL management that I do. I run scripts, I use scripts a lot. I do a lot of custom reports. And over time, I told my boss that I wanted to get better with ADP. And so they signed me in for a training class, and I just kind of started to learn about things on my own. I joined SHRM, which is like a professional society of human resources management. And then I joined Accenture at a few years ago. I'm just getting things up here. But Accenture is where I got the hands-on project management experience from. I had people who are also Black, who are just like, you're really good at this. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to learn. So I got a lot of resources. I started learning how to really code with Code Academy, but I was already using SQL, macros, and VBAs to use like really complex formulas for paying the employees of the company. So in a way, I had the working knowledge. I didn't have the terminology down pat. So for me, because I'm self-taught, I didn't go to school, a lot of the knowledge that I have now was a lot of me trying to reach out to other people that were better than me and looking online for resources. LinkedIn Learning at the time was called Linda. So I was there a lot. And I'm just a student and I always like to learn. So that's how I got to where I am now. Just a lot of reaching out to people, practicing, figuring out like complex problems and trying to solve them, and using code to also try to fix those problems. So in a nutshell, that's it. So how do you get into HR technology industry? We'll come back to that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
To me, I remember MySpace back in the day, you know, that you could cut up your page and make some did some of that. Had like a C++ book way back in the day. But besides that, went to school, majored in computer science, did comp sci, then got into web dev. Like, I remember my senior project was in PHP. Remember I hated PHP, so then I picked up Python like last. Then picked up Ruby on Rails. I really liked how Rails was like how it was the magic, but when I understood it, like picked that up. Worked on a startup a little bit, trying to create a healthcare thing, and then got JavaScript.
Was that healthcare startup first job?
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to get my family, a good family friend, sold computers. So my dad feeling like he got a support his friend, bought a computer. I was pretty young, so we always we always had a computer in the house, and nobody knew how to really use it. So I kind of just took it and started messing with it. I broke it a lot. And I fixed it a lot, so I kind of learned a little bit about computers and kind of got me into it. So I did actually go to school at UMBC before I started out as a mechanical engineer. I went on a track and field scholarship. I didn't do good in high school. I don't know why. I did want to be a mechanical engineer. I realized the first week that was going to be too hard because I was pretty lazy. So I switched to computer science. I tried that for a whole year. Tried really hard at it, to be honest. I tried really hard to just do okay. So I dropped down to information systems. So I did that for 4 years, and I did just good enough to be eligible for track. And then I proceeded to immediately fail out when that was done. And they're working for more money. But because of my love for tech, and I did get something out of school. I'm pretty fiercely independent. So I was like, I'm just gonna take any job somebody will give me. I don't care how much it is. I applied for everything, and so I drove. People always say I was talking to people all the time, but I never understand. I drove from Baltimore to northern VA, deep into northern VA, really northern middle of Virginia, every day for a job paying me $32,000 a year. And I learned a lot from it. Started out doing Linux stuff, a lot of systems administration stuff. Kind of moved on from there to I worked at a couple web hosting companies. I worked at a video game company. Just kind of worked my way up. Worked at nonprofits. Worked for the government. Just kind of picking up skills, talking to people. And now I'm where am I now? I'm doing web infrastructure stuff, which is kind of the same, kind of the natural progression. Just in the past few years, I've only really learned how to code. I tried to learn how to code 4 times before, I guess, this time. And now, I know how to code. But it did take me up a lot of time, so don't get rough if you are frustrated because it's not easy if you don't have a dedicated, you're not in school for computer science or have some kind of dedicated program. It can be kind of tough to be self-taught. But anyway, that is my story.
I typically got my start always kind of enjoying computers and tech. I actually went to school for psychology. As a clinical psychologist at that, I wanted to help people in terms of therapy. And ended up luckily going to one of the professors that was actually building some software to teach people how to learn the brain structure. And I said, hey, just give me the opportunity, let me learn as much as I can. And ended up just going from there, switching my major instantly from clinical psychology to experimental, which does a lot of research design and statistics, very math heavy. It forces you with being a lot of heavy mathematics, you cannot do that by hand. If you do, God bless you, if you don't. So I had to pick up coding, programming instantly to be able to do a lot of that actual statistical analysis on the fly after we did the whole entire project from start to finish. I ended up doing that also as working at Amazon as an operations manager. I kind of transitioned from that point all the way up to creating a couple dashboards for them. As a manager, the problem that we actually ran into was that though every bit of our associates did not have real-time rates, so as a manager's responsibility, we had to go to each of the actual warehouse associates and say, hey, you're performing at X, Y, Z percentage. I need you to hit rate or goal before you get a write-up. That was very boring, very annoying, and if anybody has worked at Amazon here, you know how annoying that might be. So I ended up creating a dashboard that updated in real time how you were performing so that you saw how you were actually stacking up to, associate 2, 5, whatever, in terms of everything, and gave a competitive spirit to people that were packing in the outbound process. After they saw the level of coding skills that I had there, I actually got burnt out. And the running joke is that at 2 o'clock in the morning on November 10th, we had to run out and go get industrial leave for somebody for a critical pull. And I realized at that point I did not want to work for Amazon because we had our entire operations team running from, as we'll say, the end BWI2, all the way to the opposite end, which is 1,275,000 and some odd square feet at 2 a.m. and not doing that shit. So I left. I ended up getting lucked out and going and catching this data analyst position at Harvard, and I actually tried to leave like right underneath the radar, and ended up knowing my Excel skills, my analytics skills, and as soon as they found out about that, they said, "Can you write a route optimization software? Can you create functional of report metrics?" And from that point on, it's just been just a self-taught continuation and continue to kind of apply your domain knowledge to furthering other things.
Those are my questions. But I got a few more questions for the whole group, and after that, I'm going to ask some questions, and you guys can chime in as you want, right? So one of the things that you guys have all talked about, but I don't think you really cleared it. All four of you guys do great different things with impact, right? Can you define what it is that you do now, right? So obviously you do data analytics, you do HR, you work HR practice, operations, you're a DevOps, you're a software engineer. Can you define those terms for us so that we can kind of see what the differences between different fields are? Start on the other side. So,
Yeah.
Well, so data science and data analytics is like 4 parts of like the actual instructions that kind of make everything go together. Domain knowledge, programming, math, and really just knowing your end user. So just like this acumen. By understanding those 4 pillars, you're able to actually start solving problems and start actually doing the building blocks of what you need to do for data science. So for data analytics, you're looking at report metrics, you're looking at how to make a company, how to make some type of process in a company more beneficial, more efficient, more efficient. For data science, you really have to deploy a lot more models, which is where machine learning kind of took off, if you will, because you need a high level of statistical background, a lot of math, in order to kind of modify from point A to point B. So really drive efficiency and drive profitability out of whatever you are trying to build or actually fix for a customer.
So DevOps is probably one of the most confusing terms in technology, period. What it's supposed to be is both a cultural and technical shift to break down silos and help developers push code to production faster. What most companies advertise it as is just a systems administrator, or someone who really manages servers and kind of manage how the applications are served up to the world. Oh, my bad. Are served up to the world. I thought you were served for a while. Are served out to the world. It's really like a lot of companies use it as one of those people who knows how to code a little bit, knows how to do a little bit of automation. What it's intended to be and what it is at a lot of companies is a position where your job is to put in place processes and pipelines, put in place automation to kind of enable developers to be able to code and get their code out to where it needs to be as fast as possible without any roadblocks and things like that. So setting up pipelines where a developer can submit their code and things happen in the background, testing happens automatically, builds happen automatically, and it gets put out to where it can be tested and released very quickly. It comprises of I actually had a long talk these past 2 days were DevOps Days Baltimore, which is a DevOps conference. They have them all around the country. There's one in DC. I think in 2 months it's a cheap conference. It feeds you and everything with $130 compared to thousands of bucks for other conferences. But what I've learned is that we kind of talked about what it takes to get a DevOps, so like what you need to know for DevOps, and what we kind of determined is that there's really no such thing as an entry level DevOps. That because DevOps is a culmination of of a lot of experience in the sysadmin system side of things. It's also a lot of knowledge from the software side of things and operations and how the internet works. It's really tough to kind of just be a DevOps, can't just be a DevOps engineer. Something that I think you got to build up to in other aspects. But you need to know there's a roadmap for this. But right now, you need to know a lot of cloud stuff, a lot of some operating system really well. So Linux or Windows, I highly advise Linux and not Windows. Cloud provider, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform. A programming language pretty well. So I'd probably go with Python. Tell you if you want to hop into this stuff. You need to know how the internet works. You need to understand the OSI model. You need to understand DNS. You need to understand. There's a lot of stuff to understand. But it really is honestly what it really is it's kind of the new. It's kind of the new full stack developer. It's not just the front end and back end application, because you usually have to also troubleshoot the entire application or contribute to the entire application. But you got to know how to do the piece that most full stack devs don't know how to do, which is serve it to the world and make sure your infrastructure is available and resilient, which is a whole different practice in itself. So it's kind of everything, to be 100% honest with you. Or at least my current job, that's what it is.
So I'm that full stack dev that doesn't know what he's talking about. Like his team, it's like they're all working on my project. But so full stack, so it's like back end, front end, pretty much moving text around, I would say. So
Big data.
okay, you move data around. So you have a database in your back end to connect to. You have so you have like a back end language, like you use JavaScript, you use Ruby, Python, whatever. So you take that, you make pretty much what I do is make an API. So you take data from the database, put it in what's called JSON, which is like JavaScript object notation. You do that, you send it to the front end. And so in the front end, you use React, or you can use React, Vue, Angular, so all your JavaScript libraries, or just plain HTML. You can use server side right now, you can use front end languages. So you write it in React, you have GET request, which gets the data. You have post request, which posts the data. So you pretty much move data around. So my project is doing educational things for female small business owners. So our site, we have the front end, we have data about all the learning paths. So we have all the information about that. And we can have user login, so you can have that. So you can manage data, user login. Pretty much. I don't know. So you have user login, you just got to know your HTTP verbs. You need to know a little bit of SQL. You use the R, which is an object relational mapper. So you map it in the object to the database. But SQL also helps. It's a structured query language, which is pretty much talking to the database, select, star, select data. You want to take all that.
Yeah. So very interesting, guys, because HR technology has literally a little bit of each of these functions that we just all described to you. So there's a difference between an HR admin and HR specialist and HRIS person. HRIS is HR, Human Resources Information System. So the system that the HR admin is using to administer operations for the employee is what we call the HRIS. And those systems are basically web applications. So let's say you have Kubernetes engine, you want to deploy an app. An HR software is literally a web application. It just has a lot of functions, and a lot of the development background is from JavaScript, C#, SQL. So the software providers already have used this product and used a shell. Think of WordPress, right? So it's already there. It's already a package. It's already there. Where you can create your own website from WordPress. You can create an app from WordPress. You can do all the drag and drop functionalities. You can join things, set up APIs, link them up, everything. That's exactly how an HR software operates. So what I do, I have my own consulting firm. What I do is I would get a client, they're using HR software, they want to use a new one. Okay, they want to go from Wix to WordPress. So what I do is collect all the information. That's what business analysts would actually do. Gather all the requirements, um, outbound data. Sometimes I actually take on the role, a hybrid role of implementation lead or project manager. And I also take on the role of the functional analyst when it comes to testing and forward deploy. So we definitely use like agile methodology as far as the software development life cycle. But the software already exists. We customize it to meet the customer's needs, which is the business. But there's another code to HR that is compliance, that is federal legal laws, tax calculations and things that, we don't want people to have to manage manually. So if there's a tax rate that's supposed to be deducted from an employee's paycheck periodically over time, nobody should be having to manage that. The system should be able to do that. So what I would do is interpret what those laws are and configure a field that can actually calculate the data items for whatever that law is. Let's say you're supposed to come, okay, let's use Amazon as an example. You work shift in California, if you're in a union and your boss calls you in to come in for a shift, whether or not they have work for you, you have to get paid. So I have to configure the system to make sure that if this employee is assigned to a shift, whether or not he clocks into the system, he needs to get paid. I have to set up those controls on the back end, but it's not a back end. It's just like a front end of the back end. What do you need to know? Um, SQL heavily because of a lot of custom reports. Um, for Ultrapro, they use IBM Cognos. You guys are familiar with that. So there's business intelligence. They have BI reports. They have Cognos analytics. And so I do a lot of custom reporting. If you're in the information that you provided for your benefit plans, if you set it up within the HR system, you have to set up an integration that kind of sends your data, your enrollment, your benefit enrollment data to the third-party vendor. Instead of having to do that manually through an Excel sheet, I'll write a script. The vendor is actually the one that will provide the script. I'll either write it or we have an integration consultant write it, but I can play that role too. So I can wear many hats when it comes to that HR technology implementation. So really, how do you get your hands on? It's literally shadowing. But if you have some knowledge of programming, it would really help. Again, like I said, SQL is really I'm a fudge. Sorry. All right.
Alright. Another bit of a quick segue. You talked a little bit about how you learned about shadowing. So this is a question for the group. Kind of, what role as like role models, or like, do you guys have role models? Do you guys have people who've been mentors, people you've learned from? Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how do you go about finding someone in that role? Anyone can do that.
I would say I did not get a mentor until I started up here. So 2.5 years ago, I felt like it was the first time I got my own mentor. So I spent about 5.5, 6 years in the industry without a mentor. And I've learned more in the past 2.5 years than I learned in my entire career before that, like 1,000% from having people who could mentor me, who could push me, put me in the right direction. Because you spend a lot of time like you don't know what you don't know, and I spend a lot of time like googling stuff and being like, oh, like this job rec says I need this to make this much money, so let me go learn this. Spending time learning technology that I didn't learn when I should have been learning concepts and spending time doing this and that when I don't know they're having a mentor. I think can really accelerate your confidence. It took until again this job, and so I had someone who was worlds better than me telling me that you're good. Like I'm impressed by what you do. Like you are good. And like until that happened, like I feel like I was just kind of floating along looking for the way I could really like I was really want to pursue to make more money. And I wanted to be good, but I didn't feel like I was ever going to be what I thought was good because I didn't have anyone kind of showing me the ropes. And now, like I feel like I can be as great as I really want to be. And now, to be 100% honest, like the money means so much less to me now because when you are confident, you are as good as you think you are, you can make moves and you can do things to make the money happen. But if you don't have a mentor, one, you've already taken the first step to getting a mentor. You're at a place where there are people who are very technical, who've been in the industry, who can push in the right direction. Even if we cannot be mentors to you, I think a lot of us are able to point you in the right direction. So maybe a good mentor to you. And two, the biggest thing is to not be afraid to talk to people. Like go to more meetups, go to more events. They're free. You can go get dinner at a tech meetup. There's a lot of them in the city. There's a lot in Columbia. There's a lot in DC. Venture out, talk to people. People absolutely reward effort. If you go to someone and you're trying and you want more, you want them to help you, they'll do their thing. They won't always help you to your own standards, but they will try. People will try, and eventually you'll find that person who can be life changing for you. I like this. I really like do your best to find that again because I didn't do my due diligence to do that before, and I could have been in a whole different place right now. But I'm thankful for that I was able to find people who I could, kind of watch and take mentorship and leadership from, and it's helped me tremendously.
I would speak for myself. Honestly, getting a mentor in my field because of HR technology is really hard. As an HR admin, it's easy for you to find an HR manager to kind of guide you through the ropes and maybe get like a CHR, but again, I'm on the technology side. So it's kind of a very lonely road, lonely journey. So when I knew that I wanted to kind of turn this niche into like a business for myself, my first really legit mentor was SCORE. They're a nonprofit with the SBA. You literally just sign up and say, hey, I need a mentor to help me with my business. And I got a really great mentor who I get to talk to, on a very frequent basis. They don't have the knowledge about what I currently do, but they really inspire me. They give me tips and pointers about how to really talk to people and explain what I do in a way that would make sense to people. In the tech world, I had to do a lot of reaching out, a lot of like really proactively. I was finding and hunting down technology leaders because for me, I'm self-taught. I know how to do what I do, but I don't know anything about technology, especially when I was trying to go for my PhD. And that's when I really saw that, okay, there's a learning curve here, and I need to kind of connect with people that already have the knowledge. So Accenture, the people that I work with at Accenture, they were not really mentors per se, but they were accountability partners. They were people that were just like cheerleaders. They cheered me on. They were always like kind of checking up on my progress and, my coding skills, things like that. But now that I'm fully into my business, I do have a very, very loyal and devoted accountability partner. I have people here and there that, I reach out to questions. But for the most part, I rely on like the forums of the software programs that I'm in. Again, there's nobody to really reach out to on a one-on-one basis in my field. But when you get on the project, whoever the lead is on that, they usually have about like 15 to 20 years of experience. And you're fresh, you're young, you're coming in, you're very tech savvy. They like the fact that you have those skills, and then they kind of mentor you and move you along the journey, like how to deliver customer service and things like that. But you have to be willing to take constructive feedback. I had a hard time dealing with that. I just had a really hard time just somebody telling me like, no, you don't have it all. You're not what you think you are, kind of thing. It's hard for you to try to separate that from this person is bashing me versus this person is trying to give me something that I need to go back and work on. So if you do get the opportunity to have a very good and loyal and diligent mentor, you want to reach out to them, even if they're not responding back to you. You want to make sure that you're kind of keeping them up to date on your progress, about your career, your professional goals, things like that. So I think it's very, very important. As far as in the technology industry, I can't speak on that because I haven't really had much. I've had my peers, people like you that I would just come to and ask questions like, look, I do this. Like I was just showing Hunter and Kwame what I was doing in BI, business intelligence for reporting. I know SQL, but I didn't know what the action that I was performing was what, storage protection? Storage procedure. And I know SQL, but I didn't know that the action I was performing was called that. So things like that, I use my peers as my resources. They're not necessarily mentors, but they're always helping me. So yeah.
Anyone else? Or yourself?
I'll kind of speak up on it. Kind of to echo what Bosh and Aaron's kind of touched on, from a data analytics standpoint, it's a combination of a lot of skill sets. So, and it still doesn't have a clear definition of this is analytics and this is just you doing your job. So, from a mentor standpoint for me, I actually had a financial analyst that I use as like competitiveness. He had when he had his MBA, had to do any type of stuff in his sleep, and I kind of use his actual knowledge and his drive to be better in finance as like my motivator to kind of get to where I need to be and understand the numbers, understand the data points at a better degree and at a better angle. Especially when you're looking at numbers all day, if you know how to actually say, okay, here's my trend, here's my pattern, it definitely makes it a lot easier for someone else that has already stepped the same roles or even know where you're trying to go to get you there. So I've used his methodology, his thought process to kind of get where I've gotten and kind of pair that along with what I see for myself. If you know that you want to be a software developer, if you want to be a DevOps, if you want to be, an HR technologist, understand that the hard work that it happens to get to that point A or point B, you need to know that the frameworks and the decisions, and there's some cases where there is no mentor in that field or even in that section, and you're gonna have to be like that pioneer. And understanding that even down to like data science and machine learning, it's still an evolving industry just like DevOps. So people are looking at creating frameworks for machine learning because there's so many statistical models out there, and don't spend your time learning concepts in the math theory when in all actuality you just want to build a future for your site. And knowing exactly where you want to get at and what you want to get out of the skills that you're trying to gain and actually build up will set you a lot farther in life than to just say, well, this person is telling me I should do this and listen to this type of mentorship. But, well, I guess the best way is just listen to the mentor and listen to what they have to say in terms of actual feedback, but then also take it in consideration on what your end state is, which you actually want to get out of it. Because if you have multiple mentors, they're going to tell you their own rendition of how things should go, which is just their steps of how they got there. So just understand everybody has their best interest kind of in mind and in thought process, but understand your end state, understand what you want to get out of it, and then you'll also know how to actually navigate yourself there. Like being a self-taught developer, being a self-taught individual, you don't know what you don't know, and you have that guidance there. But again, just think about what you're actually trying to get to.
So, we're gonna do 2 more questions in a row. So you guys said something, or you were saying something on me that related to this next question, everybody wants to investigate. Do you feel that it's true? I mean, obviously everybody here for this part is minorities, and sometimes we face different trials and we face different obstacles in our path to be able to watch it. And you guys talk, what it's been like being a minority in technology, a minority who's trying to do something.
First of all, I'm a major in comp sci. I was at Penn State, so pretty much it was only me, 2 other blacks, and the whole major. But other than that, it was that. And, like, you really got no help from anybody except it's like you kind of stick together. So it's kind of like that. So that was tough. Interviewing, like contact, they kind of see you're black and they're like, they might try to like trick you and stuff, but you just have to like ignore it and like push them on.
What do you mean by tricky?
Tricky, well, not really, but so they'll be like, oh, you weren't a cultural fit. We're like, what does that mean?
That's one.
This is like that's the biggest thing right there. The cultural fit is. I've actually out of all the industries, tech is one of the more inclusive ones. I'm not saying that it is inclusive. I'm saying it's more inclusive than a lot of other industries. So there's a little bit of you won't face. Well, now you won't. It's I think in my experience, I haven't faced a lot of outward animosity or racism. The culture fit is the huge one that's like it feels to them that it's unintentional, but it's instantly like when you walk in the room, like you aren't what is going like you don't fit what goes on in that company. You don't. Like, because there's nobody there. Like you might be the second one there. You're probably the first. Like at best, you're the second. Well, if it's a big company, there'll be some spread around, but that's the hardest one to get past. And I would say for me, I only you two things. If you know your shit. It takes a while to know your shit, but if you know your shit, it doesn't matter. The second is you gotta play the neutral game. And if you're neutral, if you're neutral in the interview, you can get the job. The only problem is when you get in. The hardest part, I wouldn't even throw the interview process on the table. I think you can get past the interview process. It's when you're there and you aren't the cultural fit. You don't fit into that culture. How abandoned you feel, and how like the conversations that are being had in the room, like you don't know how to be a part of, or like you don't want to be a part of, and then Mike Brown gets killed, and everyone comes to you like, how do you feel about this? Like he should have been doing that dumb shit, and you're like, no, I will slap all y'all. Don't fucking talk today's not dead. Talk to me about this. Like that is the like feeling like you're out on that peninsula. I've been there until where I am now. I was there every single company. I got to the point where I was alone, and then like I'm passionate and like I'm not afraid. Like I'm not like in tech where minorities or black people especially win is that we're generally more social. And in the tech industry, people have there's a communication skills problem for sure, 100%. And you being like we're also not like afraid, but generally we're not all that afraid. We're not gonna let people talk to us in some type of way, and that does get seen as like people do get a little afraid of you when like something happens and you put your foot down and you're hey like chill like yeah not like so all those things do happen, and again those are all cultural fit things, which sucks. I'm actually fighting with my company right now because even though I love where I'm at, there's a lot of black people where I'm at, we still harp on this cultural fit thing. You got to think about how many people you're excluding when you say like this is our culture. How many people everyone who comes into your culture changes your culture just a little bit, and how many people are you really excluding? Because they're sitting over there and like I've sat at interviews with people who weren't even black, who are like they're not going to hire you because you are like how I was in the beginning, how I used to come in the room and like already because I felt different, like the interview like that's in the air. So I would more so be cognizant of that feeling different because you are different. You're not gonna people interview you aren't gonna be black. They're probably gonna be bros, or even worse like middle-aged bros. And like those are the worst ones. Like I mean, and they're good. And I don't mean they're good people. They're good people, but they have a different background, different lifestyle than you. And now everyone's on the diversity kick and all this. So like they want to hire you, and almost sometimes it gets patronizing. That was a hard one for me. Some people are cool with that. I'm not okay with being patronized. Like it feels super uncomfortable for me. So yeah, the hoops you got to jump through. Like you will, you have like that's in any industry, that's in the work world. Like you're gonna have to jump through hoops. The world's still changing. I would implore you to be open-minded.
Because I want to I want to keep talking about this, but I want to ask 2 point questions. Point question one is, did you overcome that feeling of the loneliness and you need a job? Did you assimilate into the culture? Did you change the culture by being there to make it something that's more, over to you? Do you advocate for more minorities to be in there? Like,
I did. I haven't. I've been in a lot of places. I would say I have in about half of the places that I was at. I felt comfortable enough to kind of try to like just be myself and like they'll take it how they take it. And then I think I've actually tried that everywhere I've been. And some places will immediately that's what will wall you off. That's what people won't like. You won't have anybody to talk to because they're like, I don't like they don't know how to connect with you. They really don't know how to connect with you, and you don't know how to connect with them. Like it's a real thing. I will say I've tried it everywhere. It won't work everywhere. And now I'm at a place. I'm at a black-owned company now, and it's actually weird. We talked about the other day. It's like it's not weird that our teams are diverse, both in color and in gender, and like you don't even think about it. We never really think about it anymore until somebody asks about it. It's like, oh damn, like I have 3 women engineers on my team, like on a team of 6. It's like that's unheard of, kind of everywhere else. So I don't know. Yes, you can change it, but you might annex yourself even more by being yourself, which is a risk.
second point of question, you was not painted a very pretty picture of this industry. Is it working?
1,000%. One, two, 200,000%. Because this isn't almost any industry. This isn't unique to the tech industry for one. 2, the money is great. 3, the opportunities are amazing. 4, you can work for someone who never knows you're black because they never see your face. So, but again, it's an industry where your mind is the most important thing, for sure. Like it's not, it really isn't about your looks. People have their preconceived notions, but at the end of the day, you can overcome almost any of those by being like being that nigga, like being good at what you do helps a lot. But yeah, absolutely don't. Everything I'm telling you now will happen just about any other industry you go to. So come to the one where there's a lot of flexibility and
Yeah, I'll speak on my experience. So again, my field is a very niche, very like specialized field. You have to have the working knowledge. You have to be an expert. You have to know the information, industry information, and government and legal law. So all white, all the time, all white. Few Hispanic here and there, does. But as a black woman, actually, let's start as being an African, right? When it was time to do presentations, I'm like, okay, I do an assessment. I say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to improve this process going forward. You hear my arm rolling now, but during the presentation, I could easily say, oh, the process transformation of this, that. My accent will come out, and it makes me really nervous, and it really affects the power of my presentation, the power of my recommendation, right? So I have to overcome that hump to where now I can blend in and talk like a nigga, I can blend in and talk like a white person, and if my accent happens to roll it, I let it flow. But if you know your shit, it doesn't matter how. Now I'm able to overcome it because now I really don't give a fuck. If you don't like me because I'm black, that's the truth of that. I know what I do. I'm good at what I do, and I fucking love it. If you don't want to work for me, I can move on to the next client. That's kind of how I deal with it. But before I was very timid. I easily get intimidated because of my background growing up. We are very we live on this respect and authoritative role. And so before I used to call my CEOs, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir. So I had to jump over that hump. And as a black American, we don't talk like that, right? We talk straight up to the CEO. And so over time, I started to get more comfortable because I became like this go-to person on my job, and everybody would come to me for answers and questions. So how best to make my day great than by just say, what's up, how you doing, girl? Go ahead. did, put a little niggerisms in the conversation. That really helps my day go well, because you can be talking to a white person right now, they're pissed as fuck that, their pay didn't get, their pay didn't get processed because you fucked up on some shit, and, you're trying to fix it, but they don't even care. At this point, what matters is you're black. This black bitch did this. That's why it's not working. That's when they start to get upset. But the moment you're able to solve that problem for them, you're their hero. Your color does not fucking matter. But if somebody's coming at you in that way, and you are also not holding your own, it can easily get to you. I remember one time, again, I'm the only black person in the corporate department, and it was Martin Luther King Day. I was pissed. I wanted to have the day off. These niggas was just like acting like nothing's happening out there in the world. So I did some kind of shit. I just went to the kitchen board in the cafe and just wrote Happy Martin Luther King Day. And somebody erased the day part and just kind of left the Martin Luther King. And I went back and wrote it in bold, and I was like, don't touch this. I think that was the first time I was boldly like, no, nigga, like, I'm going to celebrate this holiday. It's a corporate office, employees, most of the CEOs, they got to have the day off, but it's not to recognize the holiday, but I wanted that celebrated. So for me, I had to realize that, okay, there's some things that we as black people, the culture, things that we celebrate, white people don't really care too much about that. And with my professional career so far, I've always been either the only female or the only black female. Men, however, tend to be nicer towards me, especially when I'm providing solutions to problems. Women actually are the ones that tend to undermine me because they don't know the level of my expertise until we actually get started doing the work. So in the beginning stages, there's like a really strange communication, and I see it, I sense it, but I really don't pay attention to it because I wouldn't get to the job anyway. So in the tech industry, at a place like Accenture, they really have a very huge diverse team. So people will have to will disagree. But I've been fortunate enough to work on a team that have like black people, Indians, and Hispanics, and we got to be able to be ourselves. And it was a really, really wonderful time because then I was able to just feel comfortable. I was able to just feel like, man, I can look at this person ask a question. I can be like, yo, what's up? And not feel like I have to be like, hey, how you doing? So shit like that. But it doesn't bother me anymore. At first, even when I get into a new project, I'm like, let me try to feel everybody out. But once the work gets started, I know what I'm doing. I know what needs to get done. I know what the client wants. My color, my accent, all that doesn't matter. My gender, it doesn't matter. But I do deal with the women. The women are the ones that kind of make a little bit more difficult.
So you're talking about a new project, and this is the last question I have, and we'll have a question for everybody else. And then today I'm going to ask you guys some advice. So think about that. You have to sit there quietly. But the last question I have to you, because I don't know if you guys know this, for a bunch of them, or know this, but a bunch of them have their own businesses, their own side projects, stuff that they're working on. So I wanted to ask you about entrepreneurship. And I know when you said you're talking about why getting clients, so I wanted to bring that up and ask you basically to just talk a little bit about what you're doing for your side project and how you're trying to like use your tech skills to go forward on your own. So you guys can go a little bit of
I can go.
Well, I guess this is also kind of an announcement at the same time.
you gotta make an announcement.
Just do it.
It's always dramatic.
Yeah.
All right, I guess you do that. I just secured a contract with Wells Fargo. So essentially, what I've been doing, I've been really just trying to be like a lot of these studios panels by actually starting doing freelance as my sole means of income. So by using a lot of these side projects and contracts as like a means, I've actually been using them based off of referrals and recruiters, especially when you're jumping into like a freelance kind of sector. You'll get tons of recruiters reaching out to you on LinkedIn once you're established, or even just by a Google search of what you do. And you say, hey, I have no interest on being an FTE for your company, but I can do this service for you for XYZ amount of dollars, and I can probably get your product done in 6, 8, 10 months. And essentially, what they do is they say, all right, well, what do you know? They don't want to take a, they don't want to take a plunge on one day. They're unsure about how they feel, unsure about or not even confident in what they do. You let them know, hey, this is what I've done, this is what our projects, this is my personal side projects that I've done. And most of the time, they know that you are technically cheaper. And this is the weird part of it. With you being a freelancer and still getting to do a lot of your stuff and your businesses, it costs the money, it costs the company itself a lot less money besides the hiring process and just wiping all that out and just paying you outright. So by going that route, I've been able to actually secure a lot more contracts, a lot more clients, and being able to spin up the projects, work remotely, and most of the time don't have to go on site for those actual projects. And it's been really well. That's why I said at the beginning, I actually just put in my 2 weeks notice at my actual full-time job today. So it's probably going to be a year for data analytics, machine learning, and AI. So I'm going to take that to the fullest.
You pay you more as a contractor than being a full-time employee?
So it's tricky.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a full-time employee and being a data analyst there, you are really struggling to find other ways to make the company profitable. Um, and you run into the risk of grinding the same year over year. You can't provide the same amount of value. At a contract, I can provide more value to more clients, to more people in a shorter amount of time. And not only with that, with everybody kind of being in the tech, it's not really a sense of mortality, but think of it like this. If your code gets deployed at Wells Fargo, at Target, at Facebook, at Google, that's your code, that's your IP. You developed that. That's going to keep going. So if I help out $1 billion company, I get that. You know, you can own that. That's part of you. So would you rather help one company be more profitable or 18? It's up to you.
So I just started this entrepreneurship journey. I've tried a few times. I tried to use my tech skills to start companies. I've actually been surprisingly successful. I had a cloud migration company. First from the cloud came out, got super hot, and I got a couple contracts, and I had a friend and I made a good amount of money off of it. But currently, I do technical trainings, but I'm in a business cohort to actually learn how to do business from my company, Galali. So it's going pretty well, but what I'm intending to do is start a technical talent pipeline. I just learned about how much money recruitment companies are making. I'm sure you guys have probably had recruiters reach out to you. I thought they were getting paid $4,000 or $5,000 for referral fees and stuff like that, and some of them are getting half of someone's 1 year agreed upon salary to place someone. And so I think I can do it better than they do. They do keyword searches, they're doctoring resumes. I think I can make you good, and then I think I can work with the company to make them realize they don't need a 10-year veteran to do what they need. They need someone with 2 years of experience to solve their problems. So that's what I'm currently working on. I'm actually building a platform. I'm using my technical skills that I've learned. I'm building a platform right now, a trading platform where I'm basically curating the data of the open web. So there's already on YouTube and documentation, everything. All the information is already out there, but you don't know how to go through it. You may watch a video about something you find interesting. You're like, well, what do I look at next? And usually you go to pay Team Treehouse or Linda or somebody like some bread to give you a course in order to teach you the things you need to know. I'm going to give that to you for free, and hopefully you'll let me place you $30,000 off of you. So thank you. But entrepreneurship is not for everyone, for sure. Like I put in hella hours right now because I do still have a 9 to 5. I don't really have much more than a 9 to 5. It's like a 9 to 8:30, which kind of sucks. But entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but I do think it is something, especially as Black technicians or technical Black people. The skills you get in the industry, you can use to make your wildest dreams come true. That's the best part about tech. That's why I push people into tech. Like all it takes, once you got the knowledge, all it takes is your time. And you can make as much money as you want, you can make as much impact as you want. Find the things that are passion to you, use the skills that you learn. I think you should try to do something in the realm of your passion because I think it can be free. And I think it's one of the ways that we can, as a people can get to a place where, people see you, as an inspiration. I think we need more people like that. I think we need to be more visible, more vibrant. There's a reason everybody wants to be athletes and artists because they see all the time. They believe they can be that. They see it so much. They can see us too, and they can want to be something that we're doing. But entrepreneurship is fun, but it's exactly what all the moguls say it is. Like it's a grind for sure.
For me, I'm 2 years in. My company's been around about 2 years in October, so I'm looking forward to it. So when I started my business, I knew that I wanted to do many things. I'm a very, very passionate person, and I guess you could say humanitarian driven. Again, I'm from Nigeria. I feel that we have a lot of talent that we're not tapping into. Just like companies like Infosys or Accenture or Deloitte will outsource projects out to India, they can do the same thing to Nigeria. If nobody just knows that there's like really great technical talent back home. So what my business does is the core service is HR technology consultant. What that looks like is a company comes, they need you to implement something, the HR software. It takes about 3 to 6 months to go through the entire implementation life cycle. Once you deploy it, you're off your hands. Imagine 10 or many more other companies that need to improve their HR operations. I don't have to be a full-time employee to do that. So I get a really huge ROI on working on short-term projects. I come in, implement the software, give them all the documentation that they need. If they ever need me for support, they have to sign a retainer. They pay me they have to contact me if they need me, and then we go back and put the retainer contract and send it out to them, and we'll be happy to support them. But on the flip side of things, because I also do the recruiting module, the HR system is very modular. There's recruiting, there's onboarding, there's HR, there's benefits, payroll, and accounting. So on the recruiting side, when I do the system for the companies, they want to use certain algorithms and Boolean search keywords and mechanisms to be able to identify candidates. And I've seen a lot of bias on the back end because I use it, right? And so I decided, well, I already know how this works. I already have a lot of connections with recruiters. I know a lot of people that are looking for jobs. So I created a job portal where you go in and upload your resume. A recruiter will post it. The feature state what that looks like is my internal network are now able to connect with each other. And this time around, they're not looking at your qualifications. They're looking at soft skills that can be applied to the role that you're actually trying to fill. And so for my business, I get projects assigned to me. You don't have to be the person doing the work. If you're going to go into entrepreneurship, business ownership, and you want to be CEO of your own company, there's many ways you can monetize. There's just so many ways you can make money. And so an example is the client comes, they want to build a mobile app application. I don't know how to build a mobile app, but I know people that can build that. So guess what? My talent pipeline that's back home, I'm going to outsource that project to them. But I still make money. That makes me a recruiter / headhunter. And because I'm in the HR space, I have access to all these different companies and all their recruiters. It only makes sense for me to do that. As far as actually running the business and operating as a business owner and in a professional manner as a Black person, it's a lot of work. You have to have some systems in place. You have to know, you have to first be good at what you do. If you're not good at what you do, know that you have to outsource. And if you're going to outsource, you need to have a team that's good enough to where you don't have to hold your hands throughout the process. There's a lot of compliance things like registering your business, making sure you're paying your quarterly taxes, visibility. Right now, I don't even think my website is not live yet because I work from internal referrals. People that know me know what I do, and so they send me projects. I don't need my website to be up because I already have it in school right now, so I'm literally okay. But making money as an entrepreneur, it's definitely possible. It's very lucrative. It's flexible. I work fully remotely now. I can be anywhere, work from anywhere. You can make your own rules. If a client sends you a contract, you don't like that contract, you can send it back. They don't like it, you don't have to take it. But you also have that higher power. One thing that I went to a tech talk the other day, and they were talking about how black women are sometimes like very timid and they don't have confidence or whatever. As an entrepreneur, you can't do that. You cannot not be confident. Even if you don't feel confident within yourself, you better act like you are. Because whenever you start to send your quotes and your estimates out to your prospective client, they're already relying on you to know the reason why you're charging them that way. If they come back with a rebuttal and they want to pay you a lesser fee, be ready to tell them what your bandwidth is and be ready to walk away or negotiate or accept the offer that they give you. But also know that whatever offer you accept, that's how they're also going to operate with you. If you took a $3,000 project that they know they could have easily paid $10,000 for somebody else, and they found out with you, wondering, oh, this person is cheap, they're finding their way in, but if you really do a very good job, that's a good way to get a referral. So there's upsides and downsides to that. If you charge less when you're starting out, it's okay to do that. But once you have like 2-3 projects under your belt, you want to scale up and you can charge. As far as billing, a lot of freelancers will bill per hour. You want to bill per project. And you want to be able to determine, okay, overhead hours, non-billable hours, do I really want to be billing hours? Or do I want to bill per project? And if you're going to bill per project and give them a fixed rate, make sure that the timeline that you're setting as a deliverable, right, that you're not going to deliver over that. You're not going to spend too much more time. If you give them a 3-month timeline, that's how long it's going to take you to complete your job, make sure that you put that rate in there, and as an entrepreneur, taxes. You have to get all those things set up, or you have to try to find an accountant that can help you. There are resources, again, the SBA, Small Business Administration. So the way the tax thing is happening with Trump right now in the administration, it really is benefiting to us. Well, look at you. There are how many women in here? You're women, you're minority. Those two things right now gives you a higher leverage to be able to have access to contracts, especially from the government, because they set aside a budget and a bucket for businesses that are owned by minorities and women. So minorities, like Hispanic, Black, Asian, Indian, whatever it is. But if you run your business as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you actually have all those certifications from the government to kind of make you look more serious. It's not required, but it's one of those things that just gives you a higher advantage. And in the tech industry, you really want to do that. If you're service-based and you're not really tech, that's okay. But if you're really tech, there's a lot of government contracts that have to do with technology. They're looking for people to help, improve things. You know how the government operates, the tools that they use, they're very outdated. So there's a lot of contracts out there. But in order for you to be able to get those contracts, right, you need to get yourself set up appropriately. That's why we shouldn't be getting upset at the Indians. The Indians already set up everything. They're in compliance with the government. So guess what? They're a minority, and they're taking all the projects that you should get. So I'm going to stop it there. But entrepreneurship journey is not easy. You have to really enjoy and like what you do. You have to have like a focal point. What I mean by that is, am I okay with staying and getting only contracts, or do I really need to get a full-time job? These guys, for a few months, I didn't have a job. And it was because I didn't want to be a full-time employee. I wanted to just stay focused on getting corporate contracts. Every time I spoke to a recruiter, I'll tell them, just like what Tommy was saying, I don't need to be a full-time employee. I don't want to sit on your office and do work for you every single freaking day. HR technology work is redundant. The implementation is through the 6-month life cycle. You don't need to be a full-time employee. So if you want to be a contractor, that's what you need to have to actually communicate to those people. So, and you have to be able to know that, you have to be able to manage your time wisely.
I'm gonna cut you off there.
That's okay. I know.
So, open up to some questions. I'm going to start buzzing you guys now. You have 2 minutes for answer. I'll let you talk.
All right, so my question, can you describe what your, how do I word it? What's a chill day at work and what's a busy day at work? Like, in practical terms, like, how did you define, chill is busy and, chill, laid back, and what percentage, say, in a year, would be called chill?
That's a great question.
Really good.
And that's the best part of things,
Yeah.
for sure. I would tell you that a chill day for me would be for me to do a 15-minute meeting to get my status on everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and then me sitting and listening to music and surfing the internet for 7 more hours and watching Netflix. Now that happens, but on top of that, you have days like I had today where I'm supposed to be at a conference where I got called in at 8 when I usually don't go to work until 10:30. So 8 until we left for here, I was sitting at a computer on a call with people, working through code, doing deployments all day. I've had numerous days like that. I would probably say that's only about, I would say it's only 15% of the time that I will have days like that. I probably have super chill days where I don't have to do anything. About 20% of the time, so a little bit more. And all the other days are kind of a hybrid. They can go either way. But those days where you got to do hella shit, you earn your money. Or at least I earn my money those days. I make up for the days I did nothing because it's mentally exhausting. Like I've done physical labor jobs, and I don't care what anybody says. I would rather on my hardest days, I would rather gone and done lawn service and build shit, then like with my hands, than have done what I just did. Because like it's like it really messes with you.
Busy days for someone like me is probably maybe my times get busy when the client is going live and you are getting to the deployment stage. It could be either the product or the module or the report. So my busiest days are when clients want all these reports and they think I can just break them out of nowhere. But I do the report straight from scratch and I have to, view the expressions that they want. I have to test the data after I run that report and validate. A simple report like that would take me like 3 hours, right? Those are usually my busiest days. And if like the client is going live, again, this is HR technology, and going live meaning they're now processing their first payroll using that software. So I have to be alert, like literally 24 hours on a 72-hour time frame to just make sure that I'm alert, I'm paying attention, I'll make sure that everything is already set up and ready and prepared for that payroll button to be pushed. Otherwise, the 10,000 employees are not going to get paid correctly because I fucked up the information. So going live, pushing out reports, these days are the hardest. The easiest days are when I created a report and I got one-time feedback from the client and they're happy with it. So that frees up my time. The other easier days are when I'm just doing a demo. I'm showing them what I've already used to walk them through the process. things like that. But the business days, you just have so much granular work. Like it's so much. It's very cerebral. Like it's all in your head. You're interacting with the computer. You're doing a lot of computing, and so it's a lot. Even the light from the computer can fuck you up if you like, especially if you have like something like epilepsy or something like that. But overall, I really do enjoy it.
So
But the percentage is 60-40. 60 on the beauty side, 40 on the computer side. Yeah.
All right, next question. I'm literally setting timers for you guys.
Sorry,
That's why.
Yeah, and forgive me if you guys covered this already. You guys mentioned shadowing and mentors. How do you go about getting in contact with companies? Because I hear stories about, well, contact HR and tell them you just want to work for free, you just want to get the experience and stuff like that. Is that like a real thing?
Never work for free.
Never work for free.
We said tech, never work for free. Well, never work for free.
Never work for free.
I have a rebuttal to that, but again, I'm in a different field. Yeah, sorry, yeah, you can learn, you don't have to work for free, but you can set certain times aside when somebody really wants to spend their time and make and open up their work for you to come and learn what they do that help them make money. No, be open-minded to get a little bit of that insight into that person's world without the first step being money. That person already knows that you're doing it because you want to get a job that will get you money. So don't be rigid with the money part. That's, again, my own field. That's kind of how
Shadow for free. Don't do no work.
Don't do work.
You can shadow.
Shadow, but don't do the work.
Don't do work.
But how are you getting in contact with companies? Like,
Don't
Individuals.
contact
Individuals.
no
Go
company.
to the individual. Like, perfect example. I'm working as another side project with Facebook. I actually got more insight from, hey, can I have a real shadow with you? Can you just talk with me? Let me get some insight on the pain points that you guys are running into. And that shadow, that mentorship, got me a lot farther than, all right, let me reach out to every HR person. And if I get somebody response to me, then I'll make it.
HR works for the company, so they're going to tell you to run this business.
How do you find those people?
How did I find those people?
We go to meetups.
Meetups,
LinkedIn.
networking events, LinkedIn, hell yeah.
Say, honestly, I got a lot of my network going to Aquatech for the last 2 years. Running a lot of people there. Definitely have broadened my network entirely.
I went to a lot of industry events, like the government one. I'm not a government employee, but I wanted to be in the space where all these government clients are located. So I tried to find a government employee, create a rapport with them, let them know what my goals were, right? And the next thing you know, they just started sending me events. It was like GovCon or whatever. And I'll go to those events and bring them to fill my business card, network with them, follow up after you meet them. But networking events are like really the best way.
That's a big one, by the way. She kind of goes through that follow up.
Yeah, follow up.
Following up. You have to follow. If you meet somebody today, your maximum, you shouldn't even wait a whole week before you reach out to them and say, it's such a pleasure meeting you. The moment you get their business card, start their job in your email or your phone before you release that venue, so that you remember to send that information out. If after you send the email, they don't reach back out to you, it's okay. Wait another week. Add them on LinkedIn and say, hey, I just want to let you know, I did not see that email, I just want to connect with you on LinkedIn. Be extroverted even if you're introverted. Like, that's the only way, for real.
So when you have a string of busy days, how do you manage your stress and you guys have records that you go to?
Okay.
You have to find. I've only learned this in recent years. I used to struggle through the days and then just deal with it until I didn't feel shitty no more. Like honestly, I was just like, I'll have a string of shitty days, and then the shitty days will end, and I will still feel shitty for a few more days, and then slowly I'll start to feel better. I've only recently found things that I love to do And now, like I have a routine now. Like I have things that I need that I have to do. I take time out to do very specific things that I enjoy to help out. Because else you go, I'm telling you this, like do anything that you got to work with your mind, your brain, like you got to put a lot of mental capital into is can be very tolling. Like don't never underestimate how much that can affect you. So find the things you love and guard yourself. Like nowadays, companies are more forward thinking. They'll give you the space. They know that you can't run your employees into the ground like that, like mentally like that. Like they'll give you the space to step away and get yourself back together. They want you to be top notch. So take that time. You know, it's harder when you're an entrepreneur. So that's another thing to consider. But companies will give you that space to kind of hey, I had a tough. This past week and a half was super tough. You know, I'm taking like 2 days off. You know, so I got a 4-day weekend. And most companies are like, cool, man. Like, yeah, like most companies will tell you, like, hey, you know, you can't do that. Like, you can take some time off because they need you. Like, you're worth a lot of money to them, and they need you to be at the top of your game. So take that time. Don't be afraid to take that time for yourself.
Volunteer. Say no. Come here to chill. Sometimes you just need to like go for a drive. It's good. Just find something that like clears your head. Like make you forget like what you're doing over there.
Well, on my busiest days, it usually starts at like 6 a.m. So I would like prioritize the high level deliverables that I have, or let's say I have calls that require status updates. What are the action items that I need to kind of talk about on that, on that call? So I kind of start my day off with what are the things that I need to give this client today, and start working on it. So it gets really busy real quick. I'm very neurotic, so I like get up and do some jumping jacks and stretch. I work from home, so sometimes being in like just a stationary environment, it messes things up a little bit. But sometimes I'm so busy that I don't even want to get up. I'm already sitting down for like 6 hours straight. So I will force myself to go outside, maybe like get a smoke break or something like that. But
Don't do that.
BBT, don't do that, right? Everybody's different, right? But BBT is definitely my chill spot. Like you guys are like my niggas, literally. And on a really busy day, I don't even try to think too much that I'm busy. I just have to keep going. We shouldn't, however, glorify the fact that you were working like 16 hours in a day. It's not cool, right? But if you have deliverables for your client, shit, that's what you gotta do to get it done. Okay, but towards the end of the day, I'm grabbing here, chill, let's say I'm working on something that really requires my focus. I will play background music like I like instrumentals like jazz or like Afrobeat. I'll play it in the background, so that kind of relaxes my brain a little bit, but I'm still focused on what I'm working on. So
Any more questions?
I'm more doing like a communications type of position. I try to get caught up with all the things that I have to do. I'm like behind. Are there any classes that you would suggest? I'm even over in tutoring. I've been talking to some people I know that are like working in the research, researching. I try to do some stuff on my own, and I'm just like on my own, throwing. My God, I'm having somebody who's better than me. At this and nothing. They're getting strict and not trouble. Was there anything that you would suggest, or would you feel is a fair rate to have somebody do the research for me? Because this is what you do. They just, I don't know everything you do, but you have kind of information and stuff.
So the first thing you just said right now is you're in human services. I need to know more. Exactly. Like, what are you doing in that field? Because in order for you to transition to technology, you can start from anywhere, right? But it's probably better for you to tie human services to technology, right? So it depends on where you're trying to go with that, where your thought process is with that. Do you have any technology skills, or you're just like freshly going in? What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Do you want to just come into the tech industry so you can get a full-time job as an employee in the human services industry, right? Or do you want to get into the tech industry to be a business owner and provide services to your clients? So I would need to, I guess, get more context before I can answer that question. Delali actually was the one that answered this question for me one time that you just asked. He said, the question was, if I don't want to do the market research myself, can I pay somebody else to do it? That was my question. And he said, if you're not willing to do the research yourself, then you're not in the right place. It's not something you should do. You should want it so much so bad that you spend time and effort into learning more about that that you're trying to get into. Then when you have questions, reach out to people like us, people in our community. Um, yeah, that's what I can say about that. We can definitely talk offline when we get up.
Actually, do you mind giving more context now?
Mhm.
Because,
Yeah.
because one, I think you said, like you saying that you would, if there's someone you can go to to get more information. To me, you doing this is getting that, it's doing the work to get the information. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we can provide a little more feedback right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Like what are your intentions? Is your intention to get any job in Texas, or you're not sure, you're just looking for more information?
Well, one is I've done about 4 months of work for myself. And
Doing
what? Just research, trying to just find information on the way that, because I think I'm trying to go into philanthropy work, for me, that's not the right word. but you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to go to that vein. I work with the school system. So there's a lot of things going on with there, a lot of problems that come up. I'm that person that goes above what's being asked of me. So, like the other day, just kind of top of that, somebody I know have a situation with a relative. I'll find the relative to, see background on this or whatever like that. We're trying to find people, not always the easy thing. I mean, you know how you see those people like an injustice happened, Johnny got shot, and then somebody will come back and be like, well, I know this is what they told you. That's my research, this is what I think. In all for I've been looking for people like that, but I haven't found the words to always put that on my social media page to let somebody know. Somebody like, well, what is this in reference to? You trying to find somebody boyfriend, and it's not even on that vein at all. It's trying to help, connect family. I had a cousin who, his children were missing. I had to find the mother. She was going social service stuff. So it's like personal stuff, connecting families, things like that. So it's stuff that I've done by myself already. But like a meeting I went to, kind of like this, they said, listen, some things are just not your lane. Rather than outsource and get someone to do it because it's their lane. They can find quickly. I tried to get, cousins that I know scroll the internet to do it, but they don't take it serious enough. It's serious for me, and I'm losing time and money, and I can't afford that anymore. So I'm kind of just trying to like branch out, and I feel it's a meet up so that I can meet people that this is just what they do, and even if they don't do this particular work, they might know somebody that this is what they do or whatever. So that's what it is for me, trying to help connect people with family. Sometimes it's going to another city to meet somebody, and what I'm struggling to find is how one person, so I know what I'm walking into. They know. They're like, this is what you need to know about that person. So when you're walking in, this is that. If you have something that with product, I'm not saying y'all had it, but when she went to go meet people, she had like 2 assistants right there to tell her what she didn't even know. I've done too much and lost too much money, so now I have to look to other people because it's like at this point, you're taking it all on, like there's not people out there that won't help you, and that's what brought me to this meeting, because I'm, just trying to learn what I can from those who know, as well as maybe meet people who I can bring on the table when it could be a, business arrangement to bring business to them because they're helping me.
So it seems like from what you just said, you're almost like a case manager. You are, connecting families that's in the human services field. You do not need to be in the tech industry to do what you do. However, you can use tech tools to optimize your process. So if you have to get somebody to, contact a family member and all that stuff, that's phone call, that's email, that's, case management. Somebody submits a take it into like a platform, a really small platform that you're using, you don't necessarily have to be in a tech industry. Things like you just need an assistant to help you. In order for you to get that assistant, you have to put in place what are the things that you want to be able to hand off to them to do that will free up your time. It seems like you're trying to get into consulting in the human services field or case management, like almost like a social worker, but just like a case manager. And that's not necessarily tech related unless you're trying to do a tech product or you're using technology to help supplement your process. Um, yeah.
I'll hop in on this. It sounds like what you really need is a researcher. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
At the core, you're looking for someone who can get online and
The access to the data.
do research and find data for you. Whether that's data where someone will get background information. That is technical, and that's a skill that a lot of people don't have. Search is hard. You gotta know the right place to look. I think if that's still what you're looking for, I don't know if that's necessarily our background. I mean, our jobs inherently involve us doing that. When you're in tech, a lot of your time is spent, going online for information. So we have some of those skills, but I think what you want to look for is you want to look for people who are like, not in academia, but like the people who do like library sciences, people whose jobs heavily involve researching. That's really at the core of what you're looking for someone who's give it the research for you. I feel like one of the movies they always have a hacker like the keys to find the information on a person, and like that is a real thing. I can talk to you more about it after this. Like, there's definitely like some tools that if you want to like start building those skills yourself, that we can talk about how you can like kind of find information, how you go about searching. There's definitely online tools and online classes that you take. I would highly suggest that you look into some of Google's classes. Google is an incredibly powerful tool that a lot of people don't use to nearly its full potential. But if you take, say an hour or two on class online on how to like Google that, and suddenly you'll be able to find a lot of information that you're looking for.
Also, there's databases that you probably don't have access to as far as finding people. I know law enforcement uses them. So I don't make them kind of joint databases where you can access those databases. So it'll be a lot more optimized.
Yeah. They actually started working on getting a lot of like actual government data sets into the public facing eye without having to hack or do any like legal type of something to hit it. And again, like even dealing with like case searches and dealing with that type of actual data, it is still public accessible. So that avenue of just getting the data is just about how to search and what to search and like when to search it. That should definitely need like aid into it. It's really just a research on how do I need to get access to this data so that I can now do something with it.
And I think for me, my issue has been that, years ago, they told us to go to the field with our tech, that's the way the world. And now I feel like, my God, I should have listened. I mean, I know I didn't go to it because I thought it was my passion, but it's too many avenues that I'm coming into, even down to the entrepreneurship part, where, people that I think even, celebrities are like, I'm having to learn, I'm having to get over this, I'm creating that. And it's something I never wanted to do, but it's just too much going on where I feel like I'm losing the more information I do know because it's coming out the constantly evolving, simple window stuff. So that's another reason why I was like, I gotta plug in because my job is being affected. I mean, just the 4 years I've been away and getting back into the system, I'm like, my God, this is all evolving so much. So I just feel like a fish, right? And all this information. So I'm just also trying to plug in for myself so I can have a foundation and be able to, go on the other ground. And if I do want to create that, I can do it, stuff like that.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some resources offline. I know that like libraries actually do some training in person classes for adults to kind of become like more literate with technology, at least the basis, kind of what you just mentioned right now. So I'll send you some resources. Okay?
Yeah, any more questions?
Yeah. So, given how passionate you guys are at what you do and how good you are at what you do, and it seems
point. What I want to ask is like, what would each of you say is the next step for yourselves? Like, do you see yourself continuing thinking, or is there any kind of, you know, other aspiration or goal or intention that you have or plan? Well, how could you speak to your future, given what brought you to this point thus far? What would you like to do? What would you?
I guess I'll start.
Fine.
Learn everything I can and fearless. Build up, huh? And then maybe start my own like app or something.
When you say everything at Fearless, do you mean the business or actual like software engineering?
Like software side, learn and upside, just like straight up, learn the whole build process, go through that, and like learn how to like build something, drawing up, like the right way, and then go on and like build my own side project.
To me, I do love technology because of the opportunities it affords. But to me, tech is a means to an end. I mean, my ultimate goal is to, again, gather enough skills and knowledge to be able to use technology in some way to do the things that I want to do. So I like, to be honest with you, I want to be a fighter jet pilot. Too big for a fighter jet cockpit. So now, like, real talk, I want to race cars. Race all the time. I want to travel the country. I want to build my own shit. I want to race. Like, cause that's the one thing that gives me the experience that, you know, that I craved for when I was younger growing up. And like, the more and more I think about it, like, that's all I want to do, but it's expensive. But also just to, like, because I do care about technology and that it can change, particularly Black people's lives. I'll always be an advocate. I'm always be an advocate for technology and people learn technology because it's accessible to 99% of the population. It's accessible to. But yeah, we'll see me be racing at one time. Too big for that too, but huh? I got two answers for that. My favorite performance car is probably like a Lotus Exige, like lightweight. But my favorite, like, just car that, like, I need that car is, it's probably like a, probably like a Dodge, like SRT Trackhawk, like a Jeep with a Hellcat engine in it, because it's big, got space, and then like I can go real fast around the cops.
Well, I mean, being a minority in the data science field, being overcrowded with PhDs and a lot of like white people, it's definitely something that I want to make sure that we actually have a stake in data science. If you guys do realize, data science is driven by a lot of data, and if we do not have any stake in that bias, the AI that are being developed, we will really be phased out because of that. So with a lot of these emerging techs, we definitely need to make sure that we're having someone neutral actually making the decision for a lot of these actual applications. So I kind of want to make sure that as much as I can educate, develop, and learn also from it, that we can actually turn that trade of making sure that we're actually looking at all of our actual problems in a neutral state instead of this unsampled, a random bias just being thrown in. Because as you all know, everybody's using tech, everybody's using smartphones. That autocomplete that you have coming in, yes, it adapts to your language and your terminology, but say for instance there's someone in Britain, like that uses a certain language, and then that is the norm. At that point, when that becomes the norm, your language, your skill set, your thought processes are no longer void. It is now an outlier, and it should be removed from the algorithm. So, essentially, what I want to do is I want to actually just create the balance, and by doing that, help as many companies, as many avenues that I can to kind of turn that trade.
So professionally, because HR technology is just now getting the buzz or the attention that it should have received like years back. Now companies are always bringing HR into the conversations when they have to make strategic decisions and things like that. So I want to be an HRIS engineer. What that is an HR systems engineer. Right now, the people that actually do the development, they just call themselves developers, they call themselves solution architects, but I want to be an HRIS engineer. I have not seen any black person or women rather in doing the implementations that I do or just being in that little small circle. So I want to be a pioneer for that field and show other black people, it doesn't have to be women, that you can get into this business and make really good money for yourself. The other goal that I have, and this is what ties into what I do now, is to basically give back to my country. I'm from Nigeria, a lot of unemployment of people my age back there, and that's a very bad problem that I'm very deeply passionate about. So if I wasn't working, or if I didn't have to worry about money, I would go back and help solve some of the problems back home. And currently I'm doing that now by just creating a talent pipeline of people in tech that are from my country and giving them access to opportunities. So my business helps me accomplish that goal, and I want to continue to do that. And definitely working in orphanages or mental health institutions back home, because again, everything is westernized. America is a great country that has all this infrastructure in place. My country does not have that, and we have Chinese people coming in and settling there. It's really upsetting to be here and being able to see that, but I know that I have to set myself up in a way where if I go back home, I can make the changes that have a long-lasting impact there. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we got time for one more question.
Um, well, my question is because I kind of heard you say something about having to compete with people that have like PhDs and all this degree. I don't think any of you mentioned going back to school as like something to do. Is that on any of your agenda? If not, like, why not? Like, if someone had to do it, like, what would you advise them to what kind of education, given any business, would like to go to the next level, I guess, as an entrepreneur or consultant?
So, I'll kind of start it off. One, you need to honestly think about market research of the investment that you're putting on that degree. In my case, no, I definitely can realize that I could probably learn half of what that PhD student did for his dissertation and defending his project. I could do the same thing with a personal project. I can say, I've done all my work, I've done my due diligence, now I'm going to present this to some client. I know that this works, I know that it can provide us a value. Now, if I would have told myself this like about 7, 8 years when I was in college, yeah, I would have been like, yeah, probably should have got a master's, definitely want to do that. But I also didn't do my due diligence coming out with a psychology degree because it was easy. Honestly, I have a high level of emotional intelligence, so that just came naturally. So when I'm in competition with a PhD, like again, I was at Fearless first part of the quarter, and I was paired with a guy that is an actual physics PhD. Yes, he can code. Yes, he is probably the person that is not just there for the paper. But I learned a lot more from him to also say, I really don't need to go to school for this information. I can learn this. I can literally just go, and that's the equalizer with tech, is that a lot of the information that's there is based on what you, as a willpower, can actually say, all right, I know that I can set 3 to 4 hours a day grinding on this topic, grinding on this concept, understanding what I need to do to knock this out and learn it. I mean, there's always three other avenues. Self-taught, YouTube, use my man's platform,
Hey, idea, right?
or, I mean, there's also the cost-efficient, but a little bit more regulated, the boot camp method. I mean, a lot of people, analytics, web development, software engineering, they will get you kind of job ready right off the bat with a less of an investment. It's still up to you on, hey, do I know that I need to actually set up this time? Do I know that I don't have the self-determination to go through each of these steps or where to go? That's when you gotta weigh the pros and cons of each one.
I feel very strongly about this. So I'm going to caveat with this. School absolutely is about college is like traditional education is absolutely valuable at 100%. If you have the means to do it, which most black people don't, then I would say do it. 180-degree switch. It is, data has proven that student debt ruins black people's lives, specifically black people's lives. And schooling for the tech industry, traditional schooling for the tech industry, everything outside of software engineering is either outdated or only 20% of it is relevant. There are more efficient ways to learn what you need to know. I do think structure, if you're trying to get into tech, I do think structure is important. And I would say spend some money to get into some type of course. Find something that works for you. Everyone doesn't work well off of online platforms. But there are courses you can take. They're not even just boot camps are great, but there are things other than boot camps where you can go take, a 8-week course and it'd be affordable for you, where you can get a lot of that information or enough information for you to go out on your own to learn the rest. That can put you on the right track. But I'm so serious about this. Like, black people love to go back to school so they don't have to pay their student loans right now. But student loans, they kill us. Don't actively go get more loans. If you don't have the means, don't go the traditional education route. We can talk about the million ways. I can give you 30,000 things you can try before you go that route to learn this stuff.
Go back to school. School was a time. It was good when I went there, but now, computer science, technology, like Aaron said, technology is pretty outdated, and pretty much they don't teach you how to be, I would say, a good developer. They teach you more how to be a good computer scientist, which is different. Like computer science is dealing with data and learning algorithms and stuff. I mean, they ask that on interviews, so but it's really the stuff you learn in the comp sci you really do not use in your day-to-day job. Yeah, a lot. I'm not gonna try to do it at my job. But,
Also, all programs aren't created equally, so I'm sure there are schools out there where you get the best of what you need to have evolved. Most of them haven't, and the ones that are really good probably cost a lot. So that's another trade-off.
As far as going back to school, coming from a Nigerian background, we always care about all the accolades, like MDs and JDs, all that good stuff. A master's degree is kind of like the bottom of the barrel. Actually, I only have a bachelor's degree. And so, if you can decide, why do you want to go back to school? What's it going to benefit you? Just speaking to what Kwame just said, what is the ROI in going back to school? At some point, I thought
What's
that
ROI?
return on investment. So, what is the return? What do you get back from what you invested in? If you invest 4 years into college and you pay $160,000 for that school, 80 out of pocket, 80 from loans, Are you going to be able to make $200,000 next year as a salary? No. Are you going to be able to make $200,000 with that same degree within the next 5 years? No. So what's your ROI? Like negative 0.0000. You know, so
You can make that.
you can definitely. If select few can make that, if you are in the fields that we kind of just talked about and we're representing right now. But yeah, going back to school, I personally would not. My attention span, I don't like to write papers, but I'm very practical. So if I was going in to just kind of learn something for like, 2 to 3 months, I'll definitely do that. But the full entire traditional program, it's not going to be beneficial for me. I like to go and seek the information that I want for myself. If it's going to like help me with my career or whatever kind of knowledge that I want to gain. So if you do want to go, assess the reason why you want to go. What you be able to get out of it. Ask other people that have actually already done that particular degree or study field and see if it's really worth it. They will be the ones that will tell you. I was supposed to go to medical school and become a doctor until I got a doctor telling me, girl, don't even bother yourself, you know? So things like that. You have to really think about it. But is it worth it? Yes, for traditional, I guess our age, we're millennials. Yes, that's what our parents thought was going to help us. Now we're seeing that that's not the case, but we can't say that for everybody, right? Because there are some people in here, if they didn't go to school for comp sci, they probably wouldn't even have, and they would have had to kind of find their way and sort their way out, like me and Kwame did being self-taught, right? So there are benefits to it, but you don't necessarily have to go that through route.
30-second capstone for this. Talk about school specifically. What it's really about is learning. One of the ways schools fails people the most is forcing you to learn in a way that may not work for you. What the internet allows you to do is take the time, figure out how you learn best, whether you're an auditory learner, visual learner, you like to read documentation and do things that way. Learn how you like to learn, and you can tailor your learning experience, or you can find the programs and things that are going to fit for you. I think that's what people don't take the time to do. They hop out there and spend money on something that someone else says is going to be good. Like, hey, if I like to read, if I like a textbook in front of me and that's how I get my information, don't go to lynda.com and watch these videos. Like, go to a course that's going to have you get a book and buy those things. So like, learn how you like to learn and then figure out how to go from there in terms of your quest.
Yes.
Huh? Nah, it's just
Not post-grad.
I feel you. School
I mean,
is fun.
You could get an MBA if you really want to go to traditional or learn how to run a business. I felt like, damn, man, I'm gonna go. I want to start this business. I see all these people with MBAs and shit. An MBA to get like this capstone project to actually create your own business. I really wish that I went through that, but I figured things out on my own. Most people are not, they don't necessarily figure things out on their own. So everybody's different. So literally what Aaron said, what is your learning style? Like, are you a kinetic learner, a graphic learner? Do you have to write things down? Do you go by memory? You have to really know that. Otherwise, you're going to go to college, you're going to waste time and money, you got exams, all the things, papers that you have to write. If you're not that kind of learner, what are you going there for? Plus, I would say, and this, oh my God.
I told y'all I said hi.
Was that
No,
yes, I was gonna go into organizational development, right? And data science because of what I do now. I felt like I needed to learn more. HR is advancing. AI is blending into HR. I feel like I can go and help teach my way with data analytics. At some point, I still have to get some of the knowledge. So I thought about it, but again, there are data science programs, like, really short, focused ones that I can take. Organizational development, I was thinking about doing that because I deal with people that work from like a high level, especially when it communicates and videos and things like that. I felt like I needed to brush up on, being able to talk to people. But again, it doesn't make sense. Is it worth it? Should you really go?
I don't have a degree. No one's ever asked me for it.
Yeah.
Just so you just context.
We can keep talking. We can, but it's almost 9 o'clock. It's like 8:57. Yeah, I cut you off and y'all kept going. So I was like, whatever, sorry. Thank y'all for coming. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. Give a hand clap for our So next week is still going to be April.
Is next week April?
Next week is
May 1st.
Okay,
So study this night.
next week will be study night. Come through our beginning intro classes and be doing more stuff along web dev, and the advanced classes going to be doing something hopefully different than what we've been doing, which was coding algorithms. And then just stay on Slack. If anyone's not on Slack, come grab somebody, and we'll make sure you get on Slack. And again, just make another pitch. If you would like to do a tech talk, if you're doing something cool in your free time at work, you have a topic you want to talk on, please come let me know, let somebody up here know, everybody up here can get you on there. There's a channel in Slack, it's called Steering Committee. If you want to talk, post in the Steering Committee, that you want to do a talk, I really highly recommend it because it's really good practice, it's great for your career, it's great practice, so.
You don't have to give a 30-minute talk. We can do lighter talks. We can have a couple. We'll give a quick 5-10 minute talk about something you care about. It's
something we're trying to do. We don't want always to be these people talking, me talking. We want y'all to be out here and talk to. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Career night.
Career night. I don't remember the date for career night. But
It's May.
yeah, we'll bring career
It is May 16th.
It is. Next month we're doing career development night. We're trying to have people come here and do resumes. People here to help you figure out what you want to do with your career. Trying to have a photographer here to do professional headshots for your LinkedIn profiles. You should have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't like LinkedIn,
By the way, for that too, with Career Night May 16th, anybody who wants to assist with interview practice or coaching, or if you have experience giving interviews and you'd like to volunteer, you can help out with that too. For people who need it.
Yeah,
you don't
and
have to use it on the end for practice for yourself, but
if you're looking for work, you want to send your resume to my portal. It's eraconnect.com. It's CONNECKT. If you're looking for work, or you got anybody that's looking for a job, put the resume and we'll try to connect you with a recruiter that either brings the application or keep in mind for next.
we'll post it as well. Yeah. All right. Any other announcements?
No.
All right. Great.
Thank you guys. All right.
Thank you, guys.
I can't go.
I